Hi everyone, my name is Deborah Baska and I'm a 10-star diamond, 3-time elite coach with Team Beachbody. And today I want to talk to you about how to set the stage for your business. This is all about creating and planning compelling content. Content is king, and what you put on social media is a foundation for all the rest of your business. That's what makes being a Beachbody coach so amazing. We have this free marketing tool at our disposal, social media. We could not be doing what we're doing today, and I know I couldn't, as a work-at-home mom, out of my own house with no high overhead or marketing costs, and be able to get the word out to as many people as we do every single day, just sitting in our house. That's what social media has been able to bring to the work-at-home business person, to the small business person. We can create amazing businesses with customers and clients all over the world, whereas previously we would have been very limited to those that are in our own backyard or in our own community. So setting the stage is all about creating and planning compelling content. So first of all, the number one thing you need to know is, what is your brand? What is your niche? Who are you really wanting to speak to? Who are you really wanting to attract to your business or to your customer base? Be yourself. That's my most important tip for you. Be you. Now, you can certainly look at what other coaches are doing or other people that are building businesses online. You can look at what they're doing and gather ideas, but do not try to copy other people because it will not sound authentic. You want to make sure that you sound authentic. So for myself, I am a 47-year-old former corporate executive. I've been married for 20 years. I have 3 children, teenage up to adult. I'm an only child. I'm a former alcoholic. I'm a former bulimic. I'm a former dancer. I love dogs. I'm a Christian. I'm very founded in my faith. These are all the things that make me me. So I can go look at another coach's page, for instance, that's really successful, and that person might be a mom with little babies and toddlers, and she may be 30 and living in Florida, so all her pictures have this beautiful beachy background. And I can look at what she's doing and I can think, man, I want to do what she's doing, but I can't do what she's doing because I'm not her. I don't have her story. And really what I've really found since I've been doing this for 4 years now is the people that come to me. I mean, I talk to a lot of different people. I meet a lot of different people on social media. And I can tell you, with all of the new contacts I've added, I started with about 200 Facebook friends, and now I have over 3,500. And that's because of the act of daily inviting and adding people to my network. But all 3,500 of those people aren't my niche, probably. I mean, I have all ages, I have all different sexes, I have people from all different backgrounds. But the people that actually join me as clients and that join me in my business are very similar to me. They're very much like me, which I find is so interesting because I know when I started, I did not want to limit myself. I thought, well, I want to talk to everybody. And I do talk to everybody, but the people that funnel into becoming a part of my tribe are really much more like me than not. So knowing your niche and knowing who you're talking to is very important. And why is that? Because I know that I am going to talk about marriage. I'm going to talk about being a mom of older kids. I'm going to talk about my age and what it's like to be me, a woman of my age at this point in my life, getting my fitness on, the challenges that I struggle with, as well as the things I've overcome. So yes, I do get very vulnerable and talk about things that I'm not so proud of in my past. I'm going to talk about my love of animals, and I'm going to talk about, my parents and running. I'm going to be positive. I am going to be motivational. I am going to share things along those lines. And what I'm telling you this for is a reason. Not everybody's going to like what I have to say, right? So you have to get okay with that. Being a fitness and health and life success coach, being a happiness ambassador, a positivity creator, that's what I feel like I am. And so if someone doesn't want to see posts pretty regularly about fitness, about my workouts, about my dogs, about my faith, then they don't need to be following me on Facebook. And that's a hurdle that some coaches have to get over, because when they start as a coach, maybe they have a foundation of Facebook friends, and they say to themselves, well, I know my friends aren't going to want to start hearing me talk about fitness and eating right and all this stuff all the time. Well, here's what I say to you. Number one, fitness and eating right is now a part of who you are, right? And so just like you wouldn't stop talking about your dogs or your love of Channing Tatum just because your friends didn't want to hear about it. That's who you are, right? You're going to keep talking about that because that's who you are. Now, there's a difference between sharing and vomiting all over people. Now, if you get on Facebook and you start vomiting Beachbody everywhere, that could be very annoying, and that comes across as salesy. And so that's why you need to be you. If you're working out every day and you're doing the 21-day fix and you're drinking your Shakeology, posting about that pretty regularly is fine, because you would be doing, if you drink a Starbucks every day, people post with their Starbucks every day. When people run, they're oftentimes posting about their runs, and they're doing this for themselves, right? Because it helps keep them motivated. But, by doing that, you also help inspire others. So long story short, know your niche, take a piece of paper and write down some words that describe who you are, just like I told you who I am, and put the good and the bad. I don't get out there and say woe is me about some of these things in my life that I've overcome that I still battle with in my head, but I do share things about that. So you can turn your mess into a message, right? And that's what really that's what's going to be a game changer for you. People want to deal with real people. They don't want to deal with perfect people, Barbie dolls and Ken dolls. They want to deal with real people. And that's why Beachbody coaches are successful. That's why the whole network concept was so successful when Carl Deichler created it, because we can relate to each other. And I know we love our personal trainers, and there's Beachbody coaches that are personal trainers. But a lot of personal trainers are really they're just real people too. We're not fitness celebrities. And sometimes if you appear to be too perfect and your life is too picture perfect, then people will have a hard time relating. They'll think that you can't understand the things that they're going through. So know your brand, know your niche, know who you are, be your best version of you, be your best version of you. But that doesn't mean to be a perfect you. But I think it's very important to share positivity and encouragement. And you have to remember that if you are building a Beachbody business, social media is your marketing tool. So quite frankly, if I have friends that don't like the message that I have to share, then they don't need to be my friend on Facebook. They can be my friend in real life. We can write letters to each other. We can go out to dinner. But if they don't like my message, they don't really need to be my friend on Facebook if they find it that uncomfortable for them. So that is not my worry. That is something they have to figure out for themselves. So same thing with you. I know it's hard at the beginning, but it will make a lot of sense to you. The second thing I want to share with you about setting the stage is my 5 E's. So we're talking about creating compelling content. I can boil that down into 5 E's. And here they are. Number 1, you want to educate. Educate, create content that is educational. And that can be from fitness tips, it can be recipes, it can be do-it-yourself tips, it can be crafty things, it can be about parenting, whatever your niche or your brand is. That's how you're going to share educational information, not just about fitness and health, but about, like I said, about parenting tips or marriage tips or things like that. Number 2, entertain. You obviously want your post to be entertaining. Here's a word, 2 words that I want you to write down. Scroll stopping. You really want your post to be scroll stopping. And think about that. A lot of times we're on our phones, we're in the grocery and the store, at the line at the grocery store waiting to check out, and we're scrolling through our Facebook. What's going to make me stop? That's what you want to think about. Is this going to be a scroll stopping post? So entertaining. These can be funny pictures. It can be videos. I mean, viral videos are really great. You know, if you can find a video that was created on another page that's like a Jimmy Fallon video, for instance. I mean, that's a viral video. It has like million views, and you share that to your page, most likely Facebook's going to show that to your audience, and people will probably love it. Now, again, keeping in mind, is it in line with your brand? I mean, I choose not to share some viral videos that I think are funny, but they really don't go along with my brand, right? They're just, well, maybe a little off color, maybe not quite what the message that I want to share with people. So you got to think about that. Entertain. I mean, fitness funnies are fun. Even things that you do. Laugh at yourself. You know, I see lots of cute posts and funny posts with kids, you know, things that happened in your very own house with your cats, your dogs. So entertain. You want people to when they see your name in their Facebook feed, they know it's going to, oh, wow, I want to take a look at that, because she always has great stuff, right? The third E is emote. You want your post to create emotion of some kind. And this is where it goes into you being vulnerable. And it takes a little practice at this sometimes, because, you know, sometimes you can get really, really, really long. And a lot of times people, they may not want to read a super long post yet. So things that, you know, you can maybe, you know, we call it breadcrumbing. So things about your life that are kind of vulnerable, sharing your story, you can breadcrumb those, you know, in little snippets, little bits and pieces. You know, if you something happened in your day that made you think about, you know, some other part of your life, or you were reading a book and it brought you back to some other thing, or maybe you just share a post that's a motivational quote, and then you share why that was important to you. You know, talking even about like my daughter going off to college, I did a lot of posts about that, and that was emoting. And people could relate to that, and they could feel my pain. They could share my pain. They could share my anxiety, things like that. So emote, a lot of that has to do with your own story. That's where you get real. The fourth E is engage. You want your post to create engagement, and that means interaction. So there's a lot of ways to do that. You know, ask a question when you post, or I mean, you may have seen some of my random questions. I mean, the most recent one I did was, do you use a porta potty? I got so many people engaging on that post because it was so completely random, right? And then somebody even said, well, how do you come up with these things? And I said, I just come up with them through my life, because literally when I thought of that question, I was at a football game and my only source was a porta potty. And I just thought, I know some people are really finicky about this. It doesn't bother me, but will you use a porta potty? these random things, sometimes just even use your phone. I mean, sometimes you think of these I think of these random comments or questions, and I just want to type them into my phone as a reminder so I can post them later, because they really create a lot of funny things. These are just the funny things that go through your head, right? That's how you create engagement. The more people that comment on your post, the more Facebook likes to show it to more people. So when people are commenting on your post, you want to make sure you like every comment and comment back when appropriate. Now, if you're asking a question like, do you like red or blue? And people are doing red, blue, obviously you're not going to comment back to every red, blue comment. But, sometimes somebody may say red and because, and you could comment back to that because you're like, oh yeah, I really, that's what red makes me feel too. So any chance you can get to engage with your followers and get them to engage with each other is awesome. And like I said, be sure to comment back because that creates more engagement. Every time you comment back on a post, and you're going to see most likely that you're going to get new comments underneath that because now Facebook has just bumped it back up into its algorithm. The fifth E is encourage. That's a big part of I think why people come to my page and why they like what my page is, because it makes them feel good, right? All of these: educate, entertain, emote, engage, and encourage. It's all about making people feel good, making their lives better, giving them something of value. And if you feel like a salesman as a Beachbody coach, this is a great way for you to get that out of your mind, because you're giving people something of value every day by the compelling content that you're putting out there on Facebook. So the most important thing that you need to remember with all of these posts, and I've got my notes right here, is you have to come through. You have to come through. And you know what I'm talking about. You, like, whenever you're accepting new friend requests, perhaps, maybe you'll go to that person's page before you accept it to check them out. You've been to people's pages that you looked at and you're like, I don't really get who this person is. Every single post is shared from another page, and that's something that you don't want to do very much. I mean, a viral video you can share. You can share something from Chalene Johnson's page. You can share an Autumn Calabrese's video. You can share, BuzzFeed. They have a lot of fun videos. You can share things like that, but don't just go to other people's pages and when you see a fun picture, just share it. That doesn't tell me anything about who you are. You have to come through in your posts. The third thing, so number one, I've talked about knowing your brand. Number two, I've talked about you need to seek to do the 5 E's in your content when you create content. The third thing you need to remember about creating your content and setting the stage is use different mediums. And what I mean by that is there's different mediums for posts. You can use a video. Videos are great. Viral videos get tons of interaction on your page. And if you are sharing a video of yourself, make sure you upload it organically. And what I mean by that is take the video on your phone, upload it directly to Facebook from your phone without going to YouTube first. Facebook doesn't like shared videos from YouTube because it's a totally different tool. So upload it organically from your phone, and then you can go ahead and put it on YouTube as well so that it'll be there forever and ever. So videos are really great. Graphics are great. But every post doesn't have to have a graphic. And I think sometimes we kind of get into that mode too. So I know when I first started as a coach, I was looking for motivational graphics and content all the time. Here's the best part about graphics. Let Google be your friend. Go to Google and type in a word: determination, motivation, encouraging, whatever the word of the day is in your head, type it, and you're going to find tons. And then click on the little menu item that says images. And then you're going to find tons of images that you can copy, you can save to your hard drive or your phone, and you can upload organically to your Facebook page and put your own commentary on it. And remember, ask a question, share a story about why this particular image is important to you. Give people a hurrah, give them something to go do. Now go make it a great day. Now, how many of these can you do? Have you ever felt like this? Graphics can be really great, and let Google be your friend. The written posts, don't downplay just words. You know, you might even play around with it, because you might, sometimes I'll post a challenge invite on my Facebook page, and I'll do one with a graphic and I'll do one without. And it depends on where Facebook is and their particular algorithm for the month. One will do better than the other. And it's not always the same. Sometimes the one without the picture will do even better. And the other form of medium I want you to use are photos. And this is not Google Photos. This is you photos. You photos with captions. And I'll share in a different video how are some of the tools I use to create captions and images on my videos that are really cool. Because remember, we want to be scroll stopping. We want a video or a picture to be scroll stopping. So there's a lot of things you can do to that. But remember, be your best you in any of these. Make sure if you're doing photos and videos that you've got your lighting so that people can see you, that it's a clear picture, not fuzzy. And if it's not, don't use it or retake it. You know, maybe you have to restage that squat you were doing because it was blurry. Be your best you. The fourth thing I want to share with you about setting the stage is planning. Planning is very, very important. And I would suggest that you start out with a content calendar. And I'm going to share my screen now. This is where we get into some of the tools. I'm going to share with you a content calendar that I will also post in our group. And the reason a content calendar is good is because it helps you gather your ideas. So when you sit down to create your social media, you know, to just start with a blank piece of paper, it can be a little bit overwhelming. A content calendar helps get those ideas flowing. And so maybe you have something like this. This is a 7-day content calendar. And for instance, Monday, I kind of think of Monday as my Monday mojo or my Monday morning mojo. So this is, you know, getting people started for the week. You know, a lot of people are kind of dreading going back to work. So it's Monday mojo. So in the morning, start off with a motivational quote or an image. Let Google be your friend. You know, type in Monday morning, type in Monday motivation, you know, whatever you want. It doesn't have to just be about Monday. But again, I think that Monday is a great time to get people pumped up and say, hey, it's going to be okay. This is going to be a great week, and it's your decision to make it so. Midday, share an outside article or interesting fact that gets lots of shares. Again, something viral, something fun, something educational, informational. You know, in the evening, share a call to action, soft approach. What does a soft approach mean? It means you're not saying, join my challenge group. You're sharing through a story. So maybe you are talking about your own fitness. Maybe you're sharing somebody else's. Maybe you're talking about, you share something that has to do with how much your daughter, your little 5-year-old daughter loves her Shakeology, and she asks mommy for, you know, the chocolate ice cream. And it's like, really, it's Shakeology and it's really super good for her. You haven't said, come try Shakeology, but you have planted that seed, right? And then Tuesday, Transformation Tuesday, Tasty Tuesday, whatever you want. And you don't have to put these themes on your page, but these can just be things that are in your head. So maybe Tuesday, you kind of want to make it be all about recipes and food and sharing, maybe the ingredient of the day from Shakeology or something like that. Or maybe it's really focused on your Transformation Tuesday. I mean, that's, a lot of people do TBT, that's Throwback Thursday. A lot of people do Transformation Tuesdays. So it's a great time to not only share your own results, but share other people's results. So here's the content calendar. And again, it just kind of goes down. I mean, Wednesday, Wow Wednesday, work it, own it, win it. I mean, that's a great theme, I think, one that I'm using. And it can cover so many different things. And if you always have Wow Wednesday, and people, will start to learn about Wow Wednesday, it will start to become a language that your tribe uses. And that's really cool when you can do something like that. So this is just an example. You notice that every day we have 3 posts. And that's really what you want to strive for, is 3 compelling and deliberate intentional posts, not just these random flybys. Now, let me just say here too, you can also still do the random flybys, of course. I mean, there's things throughout your day that you're going to want to share on Facebook, but you don't want everything just to be random and nonsensical. I mean, a lot of people, normal people, use Facebook for sharing random, nonsensical things. I am having a sandwich at Panera. I mean, that's great. And maybe you want to share that too, but you can add something more to it so that it's, hey, I'm having a sandwich at Panera, and guess what? I deconstructed it into my containers so I would know how they fit into the 21-day fix, something like that. So here's your content calendar. That's number 4. Number 5, create 3 meaningful, compelling, intentional posts per day. 3 per day. And I will show you a tool that we started using in my team, and it's called What to Post. Let me pull it up right here. So I actually worked with some other coaches to come up with 21 days of what to post. And we created this document and we ran it in our team page so that for 21 days, every single coach on our page would have 3 posts a day that fit all the criteria that I am sharing with you right now. And they could literally copy and paste these posts and these pictures, right? So this was very, very helpful for helping coaches gain confidence around what to post, as well as getting a better idea of what exactly do we mean by a motivational picture, and what is what's a compelling question? What do we mean by these things? What's a good Transformation Tuesday post? So this has been very helpful, and I would actually suggest that you take the time to put something like this together for yourself even, because while you may not want to reuse this every 21 days, because then that would be really boring, you can use the format. So like on this first one, what to post, Monday, day 1. Well, it's a motivational post. I can pull this out and say, okay, Monday motivation, Monday mojo. Okay, here was what we did. Okay, let me look for something that's kind of like that. And I can just kind of repeat this 21-day pattern over and over until it starts to feel like a real habit for me, something that I just do without having to look at it. But it's also great to share with new coaches so that they start learning how to do this too. But we created this document, and again, it's seriously copy the text below, save the picture, and paste. Best time to post around 7 a.m. I mean, that's how detailed this what to post document goes into. And it's very, very, very helpful. The 6th thing that I want to talk about, the 6th and final thing I want to talk about is scheduling. So we talked about creating, but remember, setting the foundation includes creating and planning your compelling content. So let's go ahead and look at 2 tools that I recommend for scheduling. There's a lot of different scheduling tools, but I'm just going to show you 2 that I use. I started out using a tool called Hootsuite, and Hootsuite is spelled Hootsuite. And there's a free version, and you can have up to 3 networks or streams in your free version of Hootsuite. So that was why I started with Hootsuite, because I liked free when I first started, and I still do like free, as a matter of fact. But for instance, I can load into Hootsuite. I can schedule onto my personal page, which is something that you can't do directly in Facebook. I can schedule into a group. So that's what I really like about this too. So like you can see right here, I have 2 streams right now. I have this group. This is one of my challenge groups. And then I have my personal page. I could also upload in here my like page. And so that would be my 3 streams for my free Hootsuite. You can delete streams. So when my beautiful mind and body challenge is over, I can delete that stream and add in the next one. So that's one way you can use Hootsuite and just keep using it for free, and that's great. There's some, try it out and see what you think. There's some limitations on Hootsuite that, that might make it a little, like for instance, when you post pictures in a group, it doesn't show the actual picture, it shows a link to the picture. So that's one of the things that I don't like about it. But for free and for posting on your main page, which is what we're talking about right now, it will work beautifully for you. You can upload a picture, attach image or file, you can schedule, choose when you want it to show up. So 3 compelling posts, you're going to want one to show up about 7 a.m. Maybe the next one you want to show up around noon or 2 o'clock. Maybe you vary those times. Then the third one you want to show up around 6, 7, or 8. So you can change the times every day. So let's see, that's kind of some of the things there about Hootsuite. Another tool that I'm really, really, really liking is SendShare. And this is a new tool that was introduced to me by my good friend, Anna Gray. And it has a 7-day free trial. And after that, it's $10 a month. So maybe you want to do the free trial and then you want to maybe do it for a couple months to see if you're going to use it. Now, let me just put it to you this way, $10 a month. I know it's hard to think about spending money, especially when you're a new coach or when your business may not be at that point where you want to spend any more money for it. But $10 a month, think about how much value is your time, and think about if this can save you hours of work, $10 is a pretty good investment. And so that's the way I look at it. What I really like about SendShare is you log in directly from your Facebook, right? And so then it has every single group and every single event and every single thing that you're a part of in Facebook right here. So for instance, I can schedule in an event, which is something that we've just started doing a lot of, is holding our groups in our events. So if I have a sneak peek group or a sneak peek event, I don't have to take my people that join the event and transfer them into a group. I can keep them in the event, and I can actually schedule posts to show up every day in that event. So that's really cool about that. SendShare also, if we go over to the scheduling page, things that I really like about SendShare is, here you can import a link, you can import a photo, and these all show up just exactly as you would want them to show up. You have your favorite groups, things that you most want to schedule in over here. Then here's your timeline. There's the event that I am now working on. It's a 7-day sugar detox. So I can actually schedule, all of the posts for the upcoming week into that event. So that's very handy. To schedule, you literally just pick on the day, pick the time, and you go from there. So this is not a tutorial on how to use scheduling tools, but that's an overview of how effective this can be. So think about it. Here's what I want you to go do. Here's what I want you to go do now. I want you to take what you've learned and put this into action. I want you to create a content calendar. If you want to use the one I've already created as a format, you can certainly do that, but have your content calendar in front of you. I want you to choose a scheduling tool. Most of you guys are, let me just back up. Every single Beachbody coach is super busy. You're working a full-time job. Maybe you're working a couple of jobs. You've got kids. You're a stay-at-home parent. You've got kids running around. Nobody has any free time. So using a scheduling tool will help you be more effective, because you can schedule time and say, I'm going to sit down on Sunday afternoon and I'm going to create and schedule my 3 compelling posts for the week. And then you're done. And then when you sit down to do your power hour every day, you don't have to have that activity in there, because I don't know about you, but content creation can take a lot of time for me. Number one, because I'll go down a bunny trail and I'll start scrolling around on Facebook looking for ideas. And next thing I know, I spent 2 hours, and I don't have 2 hours to spend scrolling around on Facebook. So choose your scheduling tool. The third thing I want you to do is start creating and start scheduling. I think that you should strive to have a week's worth of content created in advance. And again, that 21 days of posts, if you use something like that along with your content calendar, you already have the template. you already can say, okay, motivational picture here. Okay, I did a recipe there. Okay, and then I did, okay, so now I just need to go quickly find some of those things. It's much nicer to know what you're looking for rather than to sit down and think, oh, I don't know what to post. What am I even, where am I going to start? Content calendar, your what to post document, and start creating and start scheduling. And then I want you to see what kind of a load this relieves from you in your week. Because I know with social media being such a major marketing tool for us, it's so important that we get good content out there. But yet, when we're sitting down to do our power hour or our power 20 minutes or whatever it is, getting creative and trying to think of things to talk about and say and post and go find pictures, that can seem like a real energy drain at the end of a long day or first thing in the morning. So if you schedule time, and it might take you a little longer at first, maybe a couple of hours on a Sunday or a Saturday, whatever you want to do. It might take you a little longer, but you're going to find that the rest of your week, I believe, is going to go much better, and you're going to be much more productive when you do sit down to work on your business. So I hope this has been helpful. I know the most important thing about any of this is, are you going to put it into action? Are you going to put what you learned into action and see for yourself if it doesn't, in fact, make your business more successful and make your time more effective? Good luck.